Hey, hello. How's everybody doing? All right. Well, I think I finally figured it out. I hope you're doing good. I'm not sure why I've got so much headroom there, but anyway, hope everybody's doing well. I don't know, I had a little technical difficulty on this machine. You've got to see it over here. But anyway, hey, if you can hear me, send me a note. I think you can. I think everything is fine. Sorry it took me so long to get on here. But anyway, we're looking at some cloudy skies this morning. This morning we did have some fog across the area, and that fog is lifting and mixing out. There we go. Okay, I know I'm there. Hey, Martha, how are you? Are you doing okay? Denise, how are you doing? Hope everything's doing good. Martha, hopefully you're doing good. I know it's cloudy outside. It's kind of yucky out there this morning, but the fog is mixed out or mixing out. We've got still a cloud deck, but trust me, sun will come out, and it's going to be a nice day today. Temperature out there is 70 degrees. Temperatures continue to be a little bit above average, and we continue to see those temperatures in the morning being 10, 15 degrees above average. In the afternoon, definitely above average as well. Okay, you may have heard Tropical Storm Eta made landfall. Now, Eta was really incredible. For one thing, we've gone very far into the Greek alphabet. We've seen a lot of different named storms, of course, but Eta is really interesting because it made 4 landfalls: Nicaragua, Cuba, the Florida Keys, and now made another landfall at Cedar Key in Florida. And that's, if you're wondering where Cedar Key is, by the way, I don't know why they named it Cedar Key. It's a long way away from the Keys. You may already know that, but halfway between Apalachicola and Tampa there in northern Florida. About 3:30 this morning made landfall, and now very close to Jacksonville, but very lopsided system. Look at that, all the wind, well, I should say most of the wind and most of the rainfall to the south and to the east of the center of circulation. To the west, almost really nothing, and very lopsided for system. Anyway, we'll continue to move off to the north and east into the Atlantic, just barely scraping by the Carolinas, but it's going to be on the Carolinas will be on the weak system, so it won't be all that bad at all. Okay, now I can say hi to some folks, and again, I apologize for the delay there. Chivo is wondering, are we going to see any rainfall? Again, you know, when you get in this La Nina kind of pattern that we're in, rainfall is really hard to come by. And I think what we're going to see over the next couple of mornings is low clouds, some drizzle, maybe a sprinkle, maybe a shower, but rainfall amounts less than 1/10 of an inch for sure, probably talking about 100ths of an inch, and that's not the kind of rain that we need. We need some heavier rainfall, and I just don't see it. I mean, a couple of weeks, I just don't see a really good chance for rain, unfortunately. So hopefully that answers that for you. And Joey, what can we expect? New Braunfels? I think you're going to start to see a little sunshine right around noon, it looks like. And this afternoon, some sun. Going to be a beautiful day again. High temperatures in the lower 80s, around 83. And no, Jesse, it's not funny, Jesse, but yeah, sorry about that. And I've got a lot of headroom. Anyway, okay, let's take a look. Let's keep going here. Let's go. Hey, we still got a lot going on out in the tropics. We've got we've got Theta. And we've got a new cluster of showers and storms that are trying to develop into something tropical in the Caribbean. So Theta, you know, the thing that's important about Theta, and by the way, Theta doesn't look like much, and that's way over there. If you know where Africa is and the Azores, kind of over in that direction, and doesn't look like a tropical system at all. Matter of fact, I think it's rather subtropical. But anyway, it was a named storm, and what's important about that, that means that 2020 will go down in history as the busiest hurricane season that we've ever had in recorded history, and we're probably not done there. Next is Eta, Theta, Iota, and then if we can make another one, then it'll be Kappa. Let's see, so it's Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, and I doubt we'll get to Mu. But anyway, just busy season, hurricane season across the Atlantic basin, no doubt about that. Let's bring it back closer to home. Looking at the satellite imagery, this is a satellite loop from about 2 hours or so, and you can see the extensive cloud cover basically from, let's say Carn City, Seguin, westward, all the way over towards Del Rio. Just lots of cloud cover, but the clouds will mix out. The moisture is just not that thick, and I don't think there's really that strong of a temperature inversion to keep the clouds from mixing out. So eventually they will, and then we'll see some sun, and we'll warm up into the 80s. It's going to be really nice. Bernie 64, Kerrville 65, Uvalde 67. We're sitting at 70. Floresville in the mid-70s, and Pleasanton also in the mid-70s out there right now. Let's take a look at the last 6 hours and the visibility visibility. You know, as usual, started off close to the coast and then kind of moved up as temperatures continued to drop and met the dew point. We hit that fog real quick. Let's see. Okay, at 6 a.m. at the airport, 10-mile visibility. Then within, probably about 30 minutes or so, dropped to about a half a mile visibility very quickly around 6:30, and now is already lifted, and we're looking at 7-mile visibility all across South Central Texas. Visibilities are getting better, so we're on our way to a very nice day, I think. Let's see, Martha, if you're able to state what, the pollen. You know what? I wasn't going to put the pollen, but since you requested, let's put the pollen count in there. I can definitely do that. And Ralph, that's a good question, Ralph. I was been looking at this weather pattern and the way it's set up. I don't see any freezing weather at least through Thanksgiving. That's for sure. And we may not have any freezing weather until maybe the very end of this month or the first part of December. So if you want some cold weather and you want rain, I mean like really cold and really rain, well, we just don't have that for you. I'm sorry, the way this weather pattern is set up, it just doesn't look very good at all. And where do you place? Sound like we got a conversation going on between our viewers, which is totally fine. That's great. Matter of fact, I would definitely encourage that. Okay, so let's keep moving on here. We've got let's go to the state map. Okay, we'll do that. We'll take a look at the upper level map, and then we'll get to that pollen, I promise you. Okay, so here's the state map. There is Ada on the right side of the map, moving out of the way. Frontal boundary that came in yesterday has pushed down into the Gulf of Mexico, but already, I was talking about this the other day, already you can see that southerly flow coming out of the Gulf of Mexico and that humidity. Now here's the deal. It's only in the lowest, probably 6,000 feet or so, so it's just a matter of time before it mixes out. But here's the deal. I think tomorrow morning we'll have this low humidity coming in, this low cloudiness, and then we'll have a little drizzle in the morning, maybe a sprinkle, and we're going to do the same thing Saturday. And we're going to try to do the same thing on Sunday, but I think a frontal boundary will push in, and winds will be up a little bit, so we probably won't be as foggy or drizzly on Sunday. And I think Sunday we're going to see some sunshine. Then it turns cooler for next week. Not quite freezing, but definitely cooler for next week, I think, with highs in the 70s. We'll get to the 7-day here in just a minute. All right, look at that. There is some cold air across the country. Up around Denver, it's 33. Salt Lake City coming in at about 29. Casper, Wyoming, also at 23. And Billings at 19. And but then again, we've got some pretty warm air across the southern part of the country. And I think those two will stay separated. Why do I think that? Well, let's take a look at the upper level pattern. We're going to keep a light kind of west-southwesterly flow. You can kind of see that there. And usually a lot of times when you have that kind of a flow and not a real big north to south push, well, the cold air tends to stay up north and the warmer air tends to stay down towards the south. That's usually the way it is. Now we do have a disturbance way out west, out towards California, and that disturbance will move in our direction. So we'll watch that disturbance. Now I want you to look at this. Okay, starts off, this is today. Look out in the Pacific. Can you see that U-shaped feature there in the Pacific? Watch what happens to it as it moves in our direction. It really kind of flattens out, and that's bad because what you want is you want a nice, distinct U-shaped feature here. That's what we call usually disturbance, shortwave, whatever you want to call it. And east of that, the more pronounced that is, well, the more lift you've got, okay? So when it flattens out and becomes just a little, barely a U, like you see there in Oklahoma, matter of fact, we don't even have really any lift at all. So as that front comes through Sunday, forget about any kind of measurable rainfall. Friday and Saturday in advance of it, really light, measly amounts. Most of the heavier stuff is going to be up into the Great Lakes. And then next week, ridge of high pressure builds in, and you forget about rainfall that way. And that's just been the case with very dry pattern here across South Texas, unfortunately. So this is what I think is going to happen over the next couple of days. This afternoon, we'll hit about 83. We'll see some sunshine. It's going to be a partly cloudy day. I know when you look outside, you're like, are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty positive we're going to see some sunshine. Then tomorrow, we'll have the cloud cover moving in, and there's going to be a frontal boundary that's going to get close to us. The high-resolution computer models, every day, they've been closer and closer and closer, and so my forecast does not reflect a frontal boundary passage on Friday. but in this latest run of these high-resolution computer models here, it's getting awful close. I still think we'll be in the upper 70s on Friday, and it's going to be a cloudy day. We'll have a few sprinkles around. We may pick up a few hundredths of an inch, but just not going to be what we need. Definitely not. And then as we head into Saturday, I think this computer model is kind of overdoing, exaggerating, but you can see the green here. Mainly a drizzle, definitely cloudy, and definitely some fog. And we may see some sunshine, I think, Saturday. I think it's going to be a mostly cloudy day, but we'll have a few peaks of some sun, and we'll hit the 80s, I think, on Saturday. High temperatures may hit mid-80s. At least that's what my numbers told me this morning when I did the calculations on that. At least that's what I came up with. Okay, so here's Friday morning. We're going to see some fog. Visibility's quite low, I think, and the clouds just stay with us tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't think we'll see any sunshine. Saturday, low clouds and some fog. Probably not as foggy Saturday morning. And then we'll break out. We should see some sunshine as well. Okay, before we get to the 7-day, because I think that's what's next. Oh, no. You know what's next? Because you asked for it, and we're not on the TV, so I can throw this in. Let's throw in the pollen count, and let's throw in the aquifer. Okay, the 10-day average on the aquifer, we are below 660. With the kind of pattern that I see, we're not going to come back above 660 anytime soon. I think, and since there's not a whole lot of demand on the aquifer right now because it's kind of a fall and not summer, it probably is not going to drop a whole lot, but I think the tendency is going to be for a slow drop, just a little bit at a time, and not hitting 660 on the 10-day average for a while. If I had to guess, probably, hopefully sometime towards Christmas. I mean, honestly, that would be my guess right now as to when we'll be above 660 on the aquifer at the earliest. All right, we've got mold, we got juniper. Here's on the bright side, we've got some light allergy. You know, we don't have a whole lot of allergens out there, which is definitely good. All right, Martha, we got the pollen count for you. And Chivo, I think that's a beer there, I think. All right. Hey, you know what, Jesse? A big thank you to all the vets. Had a good Veterans Day yesterday. The weather was beautiful for it. Hopefully you celebrated, and hopefully you had a good time yesterday. So let's get to the 7-day. And this is what I see. I can tell you right now, there's not a lot of rain in there, but there will be some drizzle and there will be some sprinkles in there. All right, so for tomorrow, I think cloudy. Tomorrow morning, some fog. Cloudy pretty much all day, high at about 81. Saturday morning fog and some drizzle. Both Friday and Saturday mornings, by the way, we could have some drizzle around, even some sprinkles, maybe a shower, but don't expect more than a few hundredths of an inch. Saturday afternoon, mostly cloudy, highs mid-80s. Sunday, I think we'll have clouds early. Frontal boundary comes through. It gets breezy on Sunday, high 78, and then Monday, temperatures drop, 72, that's it. And that's going to be with a lot of sunshine, so a little cooler. Tuesday morning down to 47, high 76. Wednesday morning 49, high 77. So definitely cooler weather for next week. But you know, it is this time of the year, and temperatures have been above average lately, and I think we'll be closer to average, maybe even a little bit below on the low temperatures next week. So enjoy it, and again, thanks for joining me. I love doing these updates on on Facebook Live. And Martha, you're quite welcome. And the pollen count, there just wasn't much in that pollen count. So anyway, I just want to tell everybody have a great day. Make sure to watch us at noon, 4, 5, 6, and 10. And I will be back tomorrow morning, and really appreciate everybody watching. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later.